And then once it goes live, Casey, I'll hit the record button.
Okay, just give me a thumbs up when you.
Yeah, it notifies you. I have it set up where it'll be like, we are recording.
Oh, okay.
And then once it goes live, Casey, I'll hit the record button. Ooh, I gotta close that page.
Oh,
It notifies you. Ain't nobody trying to hear that twice. All right, 1 second. Let me paste these. I'm gonna put them on Facebook and some other places. Really? It wants me to sign in? What a pain in the ass. Ugh. Hate technology. Work for me. Don't make me work for you. Boom. All right. It says that we're live. I just want to share that link because it just now created the link. So I want to share that new link for people to check it out.
Good idea.
Cool beans.
All right. So it's live now. Hate technology. Work for me.
The perfect echo.
Yeah.
Work for me.
All right. All right. So it's live now. Let me reshare it for the culture. Casey put me in the trunk of a car.
That was hilarious, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. I am not a comedian. I'm thinking of something on the fly.
So I'm posting it now.
You popping champagne bottles? What we doing?
This is celebration, baby.
Yeah, I'm drinking watermelon water.
The watermelon water that you got over there. I'm gonna have some.
It's kind of like lemonade, though. It's kind of surprisingly
Citrus
citrusy.
coffee. So.
Yeah, I had a coffee earlier, but gotta have a little something here now.
All right, Mr. Blurred Vision, I'm tagging you in this, and you can repost it and let the world know we're going live. 1 second. Live. And I'm going to put now.
Remember when we were rationing masks and shit? Now it's like get them like easily. I'm just using it to wipe the bottle.
Like you'll just see them like floating now.
Huh?
Like I saw a mask like floating in the wind the other day.
Oh yeah. People don't respect these no more. At first, people were like, "Oh, you just gotta hold on to that as long as you can."
All right, let me share this link one other place, and then Casey, I'll start recording. This is the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
For the streets.
Says we're live right now.
All right, I posted it there and posted it here.
Oh, yeah. I see us on the YouTube.
Oh, weird. I can see myself looking down at my phone in the thumbnail.
I know, it's weird. All right. Whenever you're ready, guys, I am good.
Just adding the link now.
All right, and this is recording, so I could turn it into an audio podcast for tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, I gotta hit the record button. It's gonna notify you right now. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready, set, go.
Oh my god.
Fancy shit.
Oh my god. We're back, baby. We are back. The Back and Now podcast has returned. Season 3. Welcome to the Back and Now podcast, the fusion of movies, hip-hop, video games, comics, and nerd culture all rolled up into one spectacular show. Join me, K to the C, and Akil each week as we discuss nerd culture while adding our Trinidadian Canadian spin on it. It's Blurred News, like you never heard before. And we back, and we got a very, very special guest. Akil, who do we got, man?
Let me give this man the proper entrance. Like,
ooh,
meme generator, cosplay. They took down this man's Instagram. He rose like a phoenix. Even more followers. Now he's acting, he's directing. He got Power Rangers Unworthy.
Writing.
He got a couple other projects on the works.
Yeah.
This is Blurred Vision. Jordan Barnett. Did I say it right, Barnett?
Yeah, that's right.
I said it right. First, I said it right.
He's focused, man.
Hey, I'm going to say after that intro, man, that was crazy. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I'm gonna add the instrumentals in post to give you the claps and all that. Too.
Yeah, you're gonna have claps and all fireworks. And
I'll add that in post, all that.
But yeah, thank you guys. I'm honored to be on. It's been a while. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, so
yeah,
I'm happy. I got the background going. Thank
There
you.
you
oh, there we go.
Oh my god,
Yes, it worked.
Oh, we got the green screen. Okay, perfect. So yeah, man,
Oh,
we're
let me
live
move
right
you.
now.
Boom! There you are.
That's awesome. Like between arbors, okay.
So I have so many questions. I'm a martial arts guy. I did karate for about 6-7 years.
Mhm.
Took a break. I was doing some hood fighting. I don't think there's a style to that. That's when you fight niggas in the bathroom. After that, I started doing Krav Maga. Did Krav Maga for about 6 years. So what are some of the martial art disciplines that you've studied that you've incorporated into Power Rangers Unworthy?
Fight Fu, which is to say none at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It looked like you-
I have no martial arts background unless you count when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. I took like basic level 1 karate, a little white belt, but then I got discouraged when after like a couple of months of training, you get that one first stripe. And I was like, what? You don't go from white to black? I quit. So yeah, I mean, everything I know, if I look like I know what I'm doing, that's all thanks to my team. They're the amazing martial artists. They know things like, I mean, everything from boxing to taekwondo to Muay Thai, like you name it, they know it. But for me, no, it's I study in the form of film fighting, which is just it's very different from real life fighting. Let me tell you.
It looked like you had a little bit of a breakdancing background from the first episode. You did a little flip and a cartwheel style thing. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe.
That was actually based on this guy in
Capoeira?
California who does all of the crazy stunts for every black character ever in superhero media.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Toney, he's amazing.
Sick.
But he did Power Rangers choreography that was unused for the 2017 movie. And that was literally just me pulling that little scene that he did as Billy in that scene for Unworthy Episode 1.
Jeez, that's a dope Easter egg right there.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, it was just all monkey see, monkey do. No background dance. I wish.
I'm over here thinking, Krav Maga or something. I was just like, look at Jordan out here doing the moves. You poser?
Yeah, kind of. I know Power Rangers.
Yeah, I studied Krav Maga with it was nothing but women teachers. I basically studied with the Dora Milaje doing Krav Maga. And the crazy thing is, when I started, I was pulling my punches, and they yelled at me. They're like, in real life, no one's gonna pull punches when they're fighting us. You gotta hit us for real. So I said, all right, and I punched the shit out of her for equality. I did that for equality, and I did it for women's rights. I punched the dog shit out of her. So.
Feminism!
Feminism! Ah!
Wow. Yeah, it's like for film, it's the complete opposite. Like you don't want to ever go full force, and if you do, you want to make sure there's at least 3 inches between you and the person that you're going full force towards. Yeah, if you land a hit, that's a no-no. I actually have. I don't know if you can see it on the film, but I've got a busted lip scar right there from.
No, it's a fever blister, man. You ain't gotta lie to us.
Yeah. No, the actress that plays Trini. We're doing some previews for episode 2, I think. Yeah, I think it was episode 2. And she did like an axe kick down to my face, and I was on the floor already. So we didn't measure out correctly. Like she overextended a little bit. I leaned in just a little bit too far, and 2-inch, 3-inch difference is the difference between it missing looking good for camera, or it completely hit my face, and I got basically curb stomped into the ground.
Damn.
I wish I gotten stitches, but I didn't.
Jordan, I got a bone to pick with you.
What's up?
Why'd you do Tommy like that? The end of part 2 of episode 2, stabbed, bleeding out, dying, and then you follow up the episode with her dying some more. I'm just like, damn! And then you had to stab her one last time after she's already bleeding out, and then you're like, you know what? One more stab for the culture. One more stab. I was like, damn, what's his problem with Tommy? Why Tommy have to suffer like that, man?
Literally, the reason why you're bringing it up, because it sticks in your head. It's like, but Tommy's the one that always wins. Oh gosh, he's dying horribly.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I was mad at
took all
Jason.
my notes from Game of Thrones. So
I was like, Jason keeps just dipping out. He was like ready to dip. He was like, no, leave her. Let's go. I'm like, you gotta pull. You're the leader here. You're supposed to be pulling them into the portal. Like, come on, Jason. But I could see where his story arc is going. So at least I think so. He's redeeming himself to be the leader, and that's what it looks like, at least. So that's cool.
So, like, let me touch on that. So, what's like your writing process of like creating this? You have like a web of stories branching out and where everything's going, or you have an end goal of what you think is supposed to, because you're the writer, producer, hell, you do everything pretty much. So you're wearing multiple hats on top of acting and directing. So how's that process?
Well, first, I couldn't do any of it without my team. So I wear a lot of hats, but it's really thanks to them that Unworthy is as amazing as it is. From the cinematography, like Guerrilla Warframe, those guys are amazing. Waddy Jones is an incredible stunt performer who literally is in actual television shows. And Addy Adiola, who's our cinematographer, episode 4. And moving forward, he's going to be working with us for all the future episodes. He's like, the way that guy can tell a story just through images is insane. And then our stunt choreographer or stunt or fight choreographer, Eric Fuchs, who does all the action scenes. All that stuff together, or amazing actors from everybody from episode 3 to 4 and everything in between. I mean, for me, I do directing, editing, costume design, writing. But for Unworthy, I have it's multi-layered. So for the entire series, I do have an outline so I know where it's going and I know how many episodes it's going to take to get there. It's everything's always in flux. I'm not a concrete writer into the future. I have a plan. This is how I think the MCU works. There's a skeletal plan, but as we go along, I don't marry myself to any concrete ideas other than the general outline. That way things can change and breathe and grow depending on what audiences like. So the Chrono Ranger episode 4, for example, was supposed to be a side episode, but because everyone loved that character so much, episode 3, the more I flesh out that character for a side story, I realized it would be better served to actually make it a full episode. So at first it was going to be 6 episodes for the entire series, but now it's going to be 8. And yeah, I mean, I if you kind of look at the trajectory from episode 1 to 4, never mind the production quality, I think it's gotten so much better since episode 1.
It has,
but
the after effects and all that you guys put in there after.
Yeah, I didn't even say it. She's gonna kill me. But mad credit to my girlfriend, Crystal Lane, who does our beautiful Diz, who does all of our VFX. She's like literally television show quality. Like her effects, I think are like CW level. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I could see the color, the LUTs and stuff that you guys used. It evolved from episode 1 to episode 3. It like next level after. It felt like I was watching like official show.
Yeah, it's definitely changed my relationship with, like, you guys listen to the podcast, so like,
yeah, of course.
I've never thought about things like speed ramping. I've never seen speed ramping from watching just movies or whatever that I enjoy. From being the editor on Unworthy and kind of like training my cinematic eye. Like now there's a whole new level of nitpicking that I have in my arsenal when it comes to reviewing. I'm just like, I already feel like a harsh critic. I don't want to be harder now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you next. Like, how does it affect your reviewing of watching other things? But you just answered that. That's perfect.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop was a good example of that. Like from the first episode.
We'll get into that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about it because me and my girlfriend watched it and I was just like, But my filmmaking for Unworthy, I think, affected just how I even saw the fight scenes in that first episode.
Yeah, I love the body language that you guys bring to the characters because you can't see their facial expressions, but the body languages that they give, like the Orbiter, I believe his name was, he's always like snapping his neck, like he's got the posture up, like he's like, all right, here we go again, so
you got to use body language to, especially Power Rangers. Sentai is very body language based, and you communicate a lot just with certain, like you just said, like those movements, the audience does definitely like pays attention to and picks up on. But yeah, so other than just having a structure for the entire series, I also episode to episode, like when it comes to writing, I listen to music. So if any prospective writers out there, it helps me at least to structure scenes and tone how I want the scenes to play out. So basically every scene that you see in Unworthy from episode 1 to 4 there was a song associated with it, and I would write to those songs. I think it helps with the emotion to try and like, you know, write what the character's feeling.
You were listening to Drake when you made the second episode, huh? That's why all that sass. A lot of Drake was playing in that second episode.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sitting just like this, all sad.
One thing I wanted to ask you about was how did this process come to fruition as basically you getting your buddies together and building it from the ground up? Like, how was that process?
I mean, everybody asked that. I guess I just got lucky. Like, it's like a snowballing process where, especially at first, like I feel like a lot of people that ask me that question now are people who are just getting started and they're trying, like they have no experience in filmmaking, which is where I was when I started, obviously. And I at first I think what helped was I found people that did do filmmaking for, like, you know, as their hobby. And by having their experience kind of like as a mentorship, it helped me first understand how, like, all the different pieces of filmmaking, how it all works and comes together. Because it's pretty overwhelming going from 0 to 100 when it comes to making a movie, because there's so many moving pieces that go into making a scene look good. Like concepts, lighting, costume, like it's the storytelling, like even an action scene is not an action scene when you really get down to it, but it's a lot of different things go into it. But yeah, it's just the thing where I feel like it's the hardest part is starting. So just having something to show someone, and that goes miles in trying to convince somebody, like, hey, let's make a thing together. Because when you're just talking, everybody's just like, yeah, all right, you're gonna make a movie, or you have a plan, or you have a story you're trying to do. Everybody has a script. So I think what would help a lot of people that are just starting is to have something tangible, whether that be like a previs of like drawings, even if it's just like in your notebook sketching it out. If you can't draw, maybe commissioning somebody that can, just to have like a way to visually show somebody your idea rather than just kind of like explain it to them. But yeah, I met people that were like-minded filmmakers, and through them I met other people that shared the same passion, and it just slowly snowballed. And I think what really kicked off like the social media side of Unworthy Productions, which is where all my passion's been going. It's not even been in Blurred Vision for the past like 2 years. It's all been there. Was just releasing that first episode. So even if it's something like, if you just pick up a camera and film like a pilot, or like a proof of concept, even if it's like a minute long, I think that would go a long way to help somebody get started. That's the advice I would have given myself if I had known that when I started. But I was the guy with the script, like, hey, help me make this. I think it's really going to be good for me. Help me make this. And like, have you ever made a film before? No. It's like, no.
The thing I wanted to ask you was, you're in New Jersey, but I was wondering, what's your process for location scouting? Because I look at these locales, they look like they're in like Vegas, Nevada or something like that. And you're in New Jersey. So what's your process of finding these locales that you're like, oh, this would be perfect for this fight scene, or this will be great for this emotional scene?
It's not even a glamorous answer. It's a lot of Googling, and then a lot of driving to those places, and then look around going, nah, or yeah. And I did a lot of that during the height of the pandemic, when like,
that's what I was gonna say. A part of you was probably like, kind of, thank God for COVID right now, because we have so much open lots that we could use. You know, like,
well, we couldn't get together during the height of the pandemic. We couldn't get together because we weren't people weren't allowed to congregate even outside. It was kind of looked at like, you know, what I mean?
Officer, I have a mask on. It's a mask. This is a mask.
You do have a mask on.
Especially when you like add in like costumes. Like we've been like especially when we're filming episode 2, a lot of times we've been like not accosted by the cops, but the cops have like questioned us, or in some cases kicked us off locations. And that was before pandemic. So like once it was the height of pandemic, it was just like, best not to. And people weren't comfortable either filming during the height of pandemic. So it was really mostly just, while everybody was like purposefully socially distanced in parks, even I was just running around just finding places that look cool. I
want to talk about the costume design, because it's phenomenal. All these costumes are great. Is this guys who did cosplay on their own? You designed some of these? What's the details on this?
Most of the costumes I've made.
That's amazing. How
And
the hell did you make those helmets?
3D printing.
Oh my god.
And that's just working with different artists. Like
Yeah.
it ranges from 3D print artists, like people that actually make 3D sculpts and like a 3D whatever.
Okay.
You have to print the helmet, then you have to like do a bunch of stuff to it to actually finish it.
Yeah.
But and I also I work with a
Sandy.
concept artist named Washi Taylor. Who's amazing. He helped me design things like the Chrono Ranger with like the cape and stuff like that.
I thought the Arbiter was the coolest one I thought I saw, and then that guy came and I was like, oh my god, this looks sick with the cape, with the shattered cape. Oh my god, yeah, no, it's sick.
That's how you know he's in the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's true. When I was in grade 6, I made a Power Ranger costume of my own. That the first season was my shit. Like my uncle even offered me money because he came home and I was home first, and I was watching Power Rangers. He's like, I will pay you so I can watch what I want to watch. I was like, nah, man, I'm watching Power Rangers. Leave me alone. But I made the Purple Ranger. I got the blue mask and I just colored it purple, and I put
nice.
My mom stitched me on a white turtleneck, purple diamond sideways. You know what I mean? It was the Raptors, so that was my big beast. You know what I mean? So
I got Raptors Power Rangers.
Bong. Yeah, mine was kind of like that before it was like that, you know. But yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, that was around Jurassic Park days. That's why I picked the Raptors. But yeah, no, that was hard enough making that shabby looking little ghetto costume. These are a whole nother level, man. So I gotta give you kudos for these costumes. They're better than like what I seen in the show originally. You know what I mean? So this is amazing.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, it's a lot of just like I just took the cosplay hobby and just moved it over to costume making and design. So
I want to give you kudos because I think you found a way to balance the Power Ranger cheese while still balancing the dramatic elements of it and making it entertaining. Have you had any pushback in the past? I've known that one of the previous Red Rangers, the actor that played Rocky, wasn't too fond of Power Rangers of Unworthy. Have you had any other pushback from anybody or the other Power Rangers or anybody else?
I don't even know he wasn't too fond. He just was very dismissive in the moment when I was like, hey, check out episode 1. He was like, yeah, the kicks need to be faster. And I was like, oh, okay. But it made me a better editor. So thank you, Rocky.
Yeah.
Not really any pushback per se. The community, the Power Rangers fandom has been really supportive of everything we've been doing. The thing I see echoing a lot is a sentiment that they wish the show would kind of take notes from just like the balancing of dark and light elements. And I'm really not doing anything special. Like, honestly, what I'm really just doing is just taking the sensibilities of the CW or the MCU. It's good CW, early CW, not modern day.
Yeah, I haven't seen any long commercials of relationship issues.
No. Yeah. There's no hallway scenes. I'm never going to do that.
No love triangles?
Yeah.
Come into the hallway. Let's talk about our feelings real fast. Like, no, we're good. But yeah, I'm just taking like that, which is really just to say I'm just, treating the audience like adults. Like, I don't think there's any reason why you can't have a kid's property that has mature elements. I think a lot of the things that we liked as kids were things that were a little bit too mature for us, but we didn't think of it as that because it was just like, oh, you like Ghostbusters? Well, there you go. It's got a bunch of sex jokes in it and a bunch of adult humor, but you won't care because, ghosts and lasers and like, you know what I mean? So like I think kids we don't give kids enough credit and they can pull things out of it from what they, will take from it.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you make it well written and entertaining for the adult audience, you get the best of both worlds.
Facts, like the X-Men cartoons back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. That's really all I'm trying to do with Unworthy, and it's because of that passion that you kind of just exemplify it by talking about your childhood and Jurassic Park and being so excited about the costumes and stuff. Yeah. That's where
segue. I got a segue for you guys. All right, so Hasbro, they're in charge of Power Rangers now, not Saban. Hasbro, we are one. They are working on a Power Rangers Netflix series. Some of them will be children oriented. They're going to continue the one that's on Netflix right now. I mean, the one that's on Nickelodeon is going to be going strictly to Netflix. And they're also going to be making some more adult-oriented Power Rangers properties. Now, there's a guy in charge of it. I believe his name is Jonathan Internal or something like that. He's going to be like the Kevin Feige of the Power Ranger universe. He wants to make a multiverse. Let's say he slides in your DM.
Oh my god.
Here's some money, Jordan. What's the next move?
Well, first I cry for at least 30 minutes.
So the Power Rangers piano theme that you had in there.
Yeah. My destiny. I mean, I would just be head over heels ecstatic. That's the dream. Like everything I've been doing is kind of like I'm building in my mind, I'm building a filmmaking, writing resume. Mostly writing. I want to be a writer first and foremost. Director, writer kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, I mean, I love this stuff since like I was a kid, and I obviously still love it. And if they were to ever do like even like a YouTube base, like if they're gonna do things on Netflix, I know Netflix does things with content creators, like King Vader does Netflix Dreams with them that usually tie into different movies and stuff that they're promoting for Netflix. Like if they were to even have like a little mini YouTube version of that Power Rangers universe there for like us to play in, that'd be crazy.
I see no problem with you guys coexisting with a multiverse of Power Rangers. I'm like, it's possible. I don't see a problem with that. Let's jump into some other things. Your name is Blurred Vision. Yeah. How do you feel the blurred space is right now?
The blurred space. I mean, there's more people with the name Blurred in their title than ever before. So I think it's pretty cool how, you know, the nerd space has been slowly changing. Even when I started my page, Blurred Vision, like there's been so many more Black creators that do nerdy things now, and I'm just like, wow. I wish it was like the atmosphere when I was a kid, and being a nerd was like you're super ostracized. Like, oh, that's white people stuff. Like, oh, you're
white people shit.
How many times I was called Oreo for liking the things I like, and now it's cool. So I'm like, okay. But I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome that, you know, blurs are finding their voice. It's awesome that we're actually able to, you know, cosplay things that even a couple of years ago people were like, oh, you can't cosplay that because, you know, that's not a Black character to cosplay. But now there's been so much vocal pushback even against that idea that I remember like at one point I felt like I was the only person like shouting like, hey, representation matters. But now it's like that's like a battle cry of the entire internet. So I'm like, that's awesome. The times they are changing.
Now, you've taken the break during social media, the pandemic. We've taken the break as well. How was that break for you? Because I feel like breaks are necessary. We tend to get burnt out and we don't realize it, and you come back more refreshed after that break. So what'd you do during that break? How has it changed you mentally? How was your break, sir?
Bold of you to assume I'm not still on my break, sir.
No, you did one episode or two episodes.
I'm slowly coming back around. I'm literally just now trying to get my groove back, so to speak. A lot of that was just really mentally exhausting. I'm really empathetic as a Pisces or something. I don't know what to but I'm really emotional. So
the moon and stars make you emotional.
Kinda, yeah. I'm like that joke of Brendan Fraser, like, oh gosh, it's so beautiful.
From Bedazzled,
from Bedazzled. Everything going on in 2020 from the Black Lives Matter stuff and the riots and George Floyd and all that stuff. It was really heartbreaking. And at the same time, I was already feeling burnout from, you know, I've been doing being a meme generator, as you said, for a long time, and I don't know.
You are more than that, sir. You are more than that.
Thank you. But it was also at the same time. It felt like at the same time, my passion for like speaking on, like my passion for giving reviews was kind of dying. But I felt like that energy would be better served if I moved it into filmmaking. So a lot of that time I spent putting into my writing, putting into making different concepts for future projects, location scouting, like I said before. Doing a lot of like research. I watch a lot of YouTube videos just about storytelling and structure and all that stuff. I don't read, but I watch things that are the equivalent of reading. So
I don't read. Black people don't read.
I listen real good.
But my ears.
But yeah, I mean, and now, you know, like I said, I'm just now kind of getting back into trying to find my voice again. And it's been really conflicting because trying to review things has started to, it's already felt weird before, but even more so now, that the more I do filmmaking, the harder it is for me to want to critique other people's work, because I know how much goes into it. You know what
see
you know
how
what I mean?
hard it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. So even the things that I used to be like, that's garbage. Like now when I say that, I might mean it, but it hurts to say it, because I know the person making it, or not even the person, but hundreds of people making it,
yeah.
they weren't making it thinking it's gonna be trash. They put their heart and soul into it. You know,
And they're doing their
it's
best.
so hard to
yeah.
make it. Yeah, it's so hard to make anything. So it's even that kind of discouraged me from wanting to do reviews, because then it's like a great example of that. He-Man. I'm doing a He-Man project. I really wanted to like the Netflix He-Man that I love Kevin Smith. I love Mark Bernardin. Big idols of mine. I wanted to love the He-Man show. Didn't love the He-Man show. And now I'm in a weird place where it's like, but if I critique it, they'll hate me.
Politics.
Yeah, and I want their blessing, because I'm making a thing loosely based on their thing. But it's like I feel like that angry aggro fan that's like, they didn't make it the way I would have made it. I would have made it like this. Like, you know what I mean? So it's made things weird.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard place because there's no middle ground. You're either a hater or you're a super fanboy. You can't just say something's okay. Like I ran into that with the Eternals when I was reviewing it. Like I said it was an okay movie. Oh, you're a hater, bro. You don't like diversity. I'm just like, what do you mean? Like I'm black. I was like, what other diversity do you need? No, bro. You just hating on it, bro. So
And
it's
it
like
things
could be
like
okay.
That,
Not everything's nice. Great.
But stuff like that, when you try and be nice and people still interpret you as being a jerk, it's like, I should have been a jerk then. Why even try and be nice?
I think if you articulate your review properly, like then the creators will probably see it and be like, damn, he was right about that. That angle was kind of bad. Maybe I didn't cut out enough from that spot right there. So sometimes if it's articulated properly and not just it's trash, but if you're
the internet does not work that way, Casey.
But the creator of the actual products might see it like that. You know what I'm saying? So there are positives to reviewing stuff too, I think. That's all.
You're just looking at you're a hater, bro. Honestly, my burnout came with being shadow banned. Whenever I would talk about something that might be quote unquote polarizing, and I was going against the norm, I will be shadow banned on TikTok. I'll be shadow banned on YouTube, which we're streaming on right now. And I was just like, what's the point? What's the point of putting in all this effort, making these skits, doing these jokes when they're going to shadow ban me anyway? So that's my problem. I feel like a lot of black creators deal with this issue as well, where they're shadow banned solely on the content and the color of their skin.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My girlfriend Crystal does with that all the time.
I have a girlfriend named Crystal too, Jordan. You're like,
uh-oh.
I can say that too. I married my Crystal. So
same.
Crystal with a C.
But yeah, she has that issue all the time just because she's a black female cosplayer, and if she shows a little bit of skin, instant ban. So
gotta Photoshop her wider, and problem solved.
That's what it seems like sometimes.
All right. What do you guys want to jump into? I think we picked your brain enough, Jordan. Do you want to jump into Cowboy Bebop? I watched one episode. It's up to you.
Oh, I'm down for whatever. Yeah, I also watched like 1.5, like almost 2.
I made it to episode 3. Episode 3 was the best I've seen so far. But I don't know. Let's get into this. All right, folks. So we're going to be talking about Cowboy Bebop. If you haven't watched the first, second, or third episode, leave now. Actually, don't leave.
I haven't, and I'm not leaving. I watched the trailer, and I was like,
"Oh, just the trailer?"
Yeah, I was like, "Nah, it looks cool," but I watched a bit of pieces on the internet, and I was like, "The choreography doesn't look right." I don't know if this is worth my an hour and up. Nah.
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm good." Before that, let me just let people know where they can find us. We're on SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, YouTube right now, Instagram, Twitter at _Bacchanal, Facebook, the Bacchanal Podcast fan page. And shout out to the Geek Salad Podcast for having both me and Akil on as guests. That was an amazing experience. Thank you very much. Go check out their episode with us and go check out their previous episodes. Mess with them, man. We're all working together and networking now. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I got to get to our listeners on SoundCloud. We got a couple of listeners. We got people from Ashburn. We got people from China. We got people all over the
Love
world
China.
listening. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Let's get into this talk about Cowboy.
Real quick, Jordan, is there going to be a full Blurred Vision reunion? You, Michael, what was her name? That was part of the group that left. What was her name?
Oh, Jamie?
Jamie, yeah. Like,
Oh yeah, I remember.
the threesome going to come back every.
Try and get. I'm already having issues with just Michael's schedule, so try and get everybody. She's in Korea, like so. They're trying to get everybody's schedules on the same page. That'd be a massive podcast.
Yeah.
Like that'd be like.
Yeah, that would be epic. I think you guys should do one a year.
I'll try and organize something like that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, man, do it for the culture.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
All right, so my issues with Cowboy Bebop. What's his name? John Cho. This man's like 50 years old.
Oh
He
my
got
gosh.
401k.
That's
He out here
ageism.
He out here karate chopping, smelling like Viagra and Bengay. Ain't nobody trying to see that.
Does he have a wig on or what? Is that his hair? or
It
is
looks
wig?
like a wig, but I think it's his real hair.
I think
But
it's
he
his
looks
real
so
hair.
tired. He's like, you know that feeling when your bones are hurting, but you're just fighting through it. That's how he looks. I was just like, nah, it's not working for me.
Ah man.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about before about seeing speed ramping. I've never actually noticed before in watching something, but I could literally see the editing. I'm like, yo, if you just made that punch and kick a little bit faster, it might look better. I thought I was being nitpicky, but the fact that even you just saw the trailer and said the fighting looked off, like it's like
It's
oh,
very
man.
choppy.
yeah, it doesn't look. It's especially, and it's worse if you look if you don't remember the original, it already looks kind of slow. But then if you go back and watch the scenes that are kind of like mirroring from the original, it's like night and day. Like it's so much. I mean, obviously it's animation. You can't get more fluid than that. But it is like, bruh, it's crazy how bad it looks.
And it looked like they had a lot of like cutting. Like they cut a lot
Yeah,
of
it's very
the-
choppy.
chopped it up to make it look like a full fight. But if they just left it like a full frame going, like it'd be better. But too much chopping. That's when you could tell they're not up to par with what they're trying to do.
See, my thing, I'm not blinded by nostalgia. I wasn't really like, I fell out of love with anime in like 2007, and I'm now starting to fall back in love with anime. And then the whole Cowboy Bebop thing was before my era. So I started watching it over, and watching it over on Netflix, the cartoon itself, it's a vibe, especially if you have some like headphones on. Like it's really musically influenced from like the transitions of the music and to the fight scenes. None of that's transitioning well in the actual live action. I'm not getting that same feeling with the fighting and the music being incorporated together. It's just madness with jazz and some bad fight choreography. It's not smooth like it's supposed to be with the animation. And I don't get that cool smoothness from Spike like I get in the animated series and I get with the live action. He just seems old and tired.
Damn, you going in on my man's age though.
Ageism.
He just looks tired. Like, every episode's just like,
I feel like he's
figure
got-
it's just like,
Yeah,
like he about to fall asleep in the chair. Like, and the cartoon, it was some smooth shit. But in the live action, it's just like, it's like watching your drunk uncle sleeping on the couch with a cigarette in his mouth. That's the Spike we're getting right now. Drunk Uncle Spike.
I feel like he's got the charisma of Spike, but the script is not making use of him the way it needs to have that come across. Like I think he has
Rudy
his
Lin.
acting chops, but then even visually, he's not what I would picture Spike to look like in real life. Like you said, because he's older. But like it's just if it was like Don Cho, which is Don
Yeah.
Cho,
John Cho, I think his name is.
from like the Harold and Kumar days, I feel like it might have been a better fit. I even appreciate that they, use an Asian actor, but it's not enough to like something's got to give. Either it's his looks got to be better, or his fight choreography's got to pull its weight, or it can't be all those problems at once. Because then it's like you're not Spike to me now.
So let me talk about how we could fix this, because I don't want to just rag on it. What I would have did to fix it is I would have hired a director like Robert Rodriguez, somebody with like a grindhouse type of style of fighting, so they could have more of those kinetic fight scenes with the grit, with the grittiness added to it. And plus, he could also give it that Desperado 90s vibe, because he directed that back in the day. Casting wise, I would have went with Rudy Lin. He's a younger actor. He has kung fu background. He'll be able to actually do believable fight scenes. Because John Cho, none of his fight scenes are believable. I'm on episode 3, and I've yet to believe that this 51 or 100-year-old man could fight all these people. Not at all. It's not believable. I can't turn my brain off for disbelief to enjoyed the show. So to me, it's just really mediocre.
Fair.
I think it just came at a bad
need
time
to-
for me. I think it came at a time when it's the fall and there's so many shows that are grabbing my attention. So when this came out, I was like, oh, I'll watch it later. Oh, there's something else. Oh, I'll watch it later. Oh, there's, it just kept getting pushed back. So it's bad timing. I think this should have came out in the summertime.
When the bar was lower, you're saying? Like
Yes.
when our expectations were
Yes.
lower?
too much good shit coming out. Shit came
Yeah,
out.
way
with
too
nothing
much.
coming out good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. That might have helped.
Yeah, I think it would have helped.
Even what I've seen from some of the clips of future episodes, I posted some of the meme I posted yesterday. They butcher the story. Like, I don't know how much you know, but they go so off the rail with some of the biggest like character beats, story beats in the original series. To the point where I'm just like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch the rest of this.
Wow.
There's no point. Like, there's no reward at the end, especially like the last scene. It's not even like they do it one season. They leave it open for 2 seasons, and they leave in a cliffhanger of showing the cringiest thing possible, which is their version of Ed. And it's this weird thing where they try and be too accurate in some places and then not accurate enough in other places. So like Ed's way too accurate to the original animation and just not come off endearing at all or cute or funny. It comes off really cringy. I hate using that phrase, but that's what it feels like. I literally watched the scene and cringed. So what else can I call it? But yeah, I just think that they need a director that I think understood the tone better and the vibe. Like even what we were touching on before with music is just there's a certain tone that the show has that makes it feel more cartoony than even the original animation, which was a cartoon, which that's a problem. Like I shouldn't have a more chill, relaxed, and realistic vibe in a cartoon than I do in the live action,
Now, I do ask this question: is there a right way to adapt an anime? Because they seem like you're never going to satisfy the fans when you do that. We have One Piece coming out that they're currently working on. I'm on episode 8 out of 1,000, so I got a good ways to go. I'll make it there one day. So I'm just like, is there a way that you could adapt the anime and satisfy the fans? Because if you stick too close to the source material, you're just retreading the same grounds and they're going to get upset. But if you go your own beaten path, then you're going to alienate fans because they're going to say it's completely different. This is not what I like. So is there a right way to adapt that and to satisfy people in the process? And I say no.
Well, look at Avatar. That movie did good, didn't it? I think that's a tough question to ask, but I think looking at like comic book movies where they were in like the early 90s to where they are now, like they've definitely made advancements to the better. So I could see a place where animes are actually parallel, if not better, than the original makings. But it's tough because animes are like drawn originally, like Akira was drawn, each part was hand drawn and stuff. They put so much work into that part that is left to be appreciated that you can't see in film. So they would have to like translate that in a weird way. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be an uphill battle. But if someone hits that in the head, it'll be something special.
I think 300's like one of the few things that like stayed close to the source material and satisfied fans in the process.
Wait, does that count? It's not anime.
It's not anime. I'm just thinking of like something that's like that's a comic that was like so like heavily close to the source material.
Yeah, that was one of the first comic book movies that made people say like, "Oh."
I think the MCU does it, but it does it in a way
they have it's their own universe basically.
But I think that's the way you do it. You have to do it in a way where you take the spirit of whatever you're adapting and do your own version. In some cases, I think a lot of cases, the best animated things, like they're picking the masterpieces of animation to try and adapt. Like Cowboy Bebop is a masterpiece. And a lot of times the animations are as good as they are because they're animated. There's just some things you can't do in live action that don't translate the same way that they do in live. I think Ed's a great example of that. She works in animation. In real life, you can't make that work like as the way she's written.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it the way the MCU does it, I think the other way to do it would be to, and Hollywood doesn't do it really, but fan films do, which is to do things within that world. An amazing cinematographer, Riven XI on YouTube, he's done a My Academia fan film that it's set in LA. So it takes place in the My Hero Academia world, but it's actually its own story, like in America style. And then kind of the vigilantes too. But the idea is when you watch that, it is well. The reason why I'm bringing it up because it's really well done. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest checking it out. He's the guy that did the cinematography for things like Kingsman. So if you like the action in that, he's freaking amazing. Yeah, he's ridiculous. But yeah, if you do it that way, I think when you watch that short, it's unmistakably My Hero Academia. Like, it doesn't have Deku in it, but it's My Hero Academia's world and stuff like that. I think if you just are able to emotionally resonate with the fans in the same way that the original did, I think you walk away satisfied more often than trying to see like a shallow recreation that doesn't have the same emotional impact, you know?
Yeah.
Or they take an anime that's mediocre and not well liked, make it live action and make it better.
Exactly. They never do that. They always go for the biggest ones.
Now you gotta go for the low hanging fruit, man.
Yeah.
Tiger Bunny. Go ahead and make live action.
Bunny. I mean,
I'm trying to think. Did they do that to them? Did they get us like that already?
I'm just saying that should be the route. Don't go for the Sailor Moons, man. You gotta go for like the cheap knockoff Sailor Moons, and then make those live action.
Mm-hmm.
The tragedy is everything's Sailor Moon to somebody. So you'll be like Shin-Chan, and they'll be like, "Oh, my favorite childhood show growing up." Like, oh, really? Come on, bro.
All right, let's transition into let's talk some Hawkeye. We can't talk episode 3 because Jordan's girlfriend will beat him up. So we will
okay.
So we will be discussing episodes 1 and 2,
yes,
and possibly future characters that we can see popping up in the show. All right, so folks, we're talking Hawkeye. I personally like it because I read the books. I like the Matt Fraction books. Hawkeye's a lot grimier in those books. He's single. He's out here fighting, butt naked, dick swinging.
He's in a different
There's a comic book panel with that happening. Did you not see it?
Yeah,
where he's jumping, he's butt naked and meat swinging.
And they have the Hawkeye picture over his.
And there's a Hawkeye picture over his meat.
Okay.
I didn't write this. I'm just reporting on it, okay?
If that's not in the series, then I call shenanigans.
I'm writing Disney. If that doesn't happen, so if there's not a naked Hawkeye fight scene, I'm gonna riot. But yeah, in the comic books, he's like a landlord to an apartment, and the was it tracksuit mafia? I'm not sure the terminology that they had in the comic books. They were going after him, and he meets up with Kate, and they form that dynamic. I like what they're doing in the show. He's kind of writing. He's righting his wrongs from culture appropriating Japanese culture and having that ugly ass mohawk thing that he had going on. So
that looked great. I liked it.
No, it didn't.
It looked great.
Did he get a mohawk because his name is Hawkeye? Like he's like Hawk? Was that what they were trying to do there? So he's righting his wrongs for going around killing minorities, and I like that they're was he not?
No, he was. You're right.
He went after the cartel, and then he went after the Yakuza. They're like, what about the KKK? He's like, not my problem. Not Ronan's problem. So yeah, I like that in this series that they're showing you him righting his wrongs, and I'm liking Kate Bishop. Not just saying that because I'm a fan of Haley Steinfeld. She's doing a really good job. She's bringing that charisma to the character, and I feel like finally Hawkeye is getting his moment for us to have that character development with him that we all been wanting, because he's just kind of been that guy. Like he's just there. We never really got to see more layers to him. We're just like, oh, Hawkeye's here. Like Thor had his moment. Everybody had their moment except Hawkeye. So it's good to see that happening now. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I mean, I basically agree with everything you just said. I'm enjoying the series so far. I've been impressed to be like, what do I rank it? Like, do I like it the best, the least? It's somewhere in the middle. I'm not like super passionate about it, but I didn't like absolutely hate it. The characters I think are doing a great job of being likable. Kate Bishop especially since like going into this, I was scared that it was going to be, even though it's called Hawkeye, the Kate Bishop show, and not in a good way, like in a way it's like, oh, get to Hawkeye, let's go. Like I'm tired of this girl right now. But no, but she's doing great. everything that like her whole storyline with her mother and her mustachio twirling stepfather who maybe or maybe not be evil so far in the series. I know in the comics he's a villain, but I'm really hoping they're playing into that as like a Mandarin type of thing where it's like a red herring.
Oh
And
no,
Hawkeye. I'm
oh
loving.
no, I saw episode 3. I don't know.
Oh man. See? Yeah, la, 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 la.
I'm waiting for our Black Widow sister to show up. They teased that at the end of Black Widow. They showed Hawkeye's picture. We only have 6 episodes, so if they are to show her, I'm not saying if they did or not, they gotta integrate that fast. And are they setting up a Young Avengers? Is that what's going on? Because I feel like we got Kate Bishop. We have what's his name, Patriot.
Yeah, Patriot.
Yeah, we have Patriot. Mm-hmm. We have Wiccan. We don't have Hulkling, and we have Ant-Man's daughter. So it's slow. We're slowly starting to get the Young Avengers. We have America Chavez. She's going to be showing up in
She-Hulk.
Right? Is it She-Hulk? I know she's showing up in Doctor Strange too.
No, but I'm saying we're going to have She-Hulk also.
She's not no Young Avenger. That's a grown woman.
Is she in the show?
With a law degree. Come on,
she
now.
Looked pretty young. She looked pretty young in the.
That's somebody's aunt. That's a grown woman. I do not like what they did with Miss Marvel. That's off topic though, but they took away her stretchy powers. She fancy fisting people, and I don't know what the hell that is.
I get it. They don't want to copy Mr. Fantastic.
They don't want anything to do with the Inhumans. They're just like, then who? They're like, oh,
yeah, that too. Yeah.
We're not going to mention those fools
under the rug. Don't talk about it ever again.
Completely changed her powers. But yeah, back to Hawkeye.
But yeah, I love Hawkeye in terms of like his characterization in this, because I think the best part, it's like very like Grinch, and he's like and like Cindy Lou Who is
no, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I like that Hawkeye's like kind of like the I like uncomfortable Clint, as I call him. Like he's grumpy, but you can tell he's got a heart of gold. And like every time they have a dynamic together, I just love how they play off each other.
Yeah. I'm liking the first 2 episodes a lot. It's a lot of world building and character development, but I'm enjoying it. I like the way that they developed her character and made it understanding to why she would have the abilities that she has and the understanding of archery that she has, but she's still so young that she doesn't have that real world fight life. You know what I mean? Like Hawkeye has an understanding of, you have like 4 people on you, and she doesn't. So she panic and hop in a car, and like, what am I gonna do? So I like that they add that in there also. But the chemistry between all these actors are great. They're all knocking it out the park. The mom, all of them are doing an amazing job to me. New York City, they're really giving it life. Like I missed that. Like Ghostbusters was probably one of the last movies I saw where they gave it life like that, where it's like they're going to like 42nd, they're going up to where the skate rink is. They're going all over the place. and I like that. I like that they're doing all that in the show.
Why is it got to be my head?
There you go, Jordan.
No!
There you go, right there. Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
No, they're doing a great job with this. And I think you should be excited for episode 3 for what they do. I didn't like the way the second episode ended.
Yeah, it didn't hit the landing. Cliffhanger.
Yeah, didn't hit the landing. But the first 2 episodes were pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy was like the big reveal of this character we've never seen before. I'm like, who? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I just feel like they're hinting at Kingpin, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to Mephisto us. I think they're going to keep mentioning stuff to make us think Kingpin's going to show up, and then it's going to just be some random dude, and they're going to be like, we got you. Wait, Ralph Boner us again. I think we're going to get Ralph Bonered. Mm-hmm. That's just me. Marvel's been cynical lately, and I feel like they're going to do that. I feel like they're going to hint at that. Are you familiar with the character Echo at all?
No. I know that's who the character is revealed at the end of 2, but I didn't know who that was when I saw it.
Yeah, in the comic books, her uncle is Kingpin, but I know the MCU goes their own route, so I could see them being like, your uncle, and then when he shows up, it's gonna be like, I'm your Uncle Domingo, and you're like, fuck, I thought I was supposed to be Kingpin. What the hell? I feel like that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a moment like that. If they do the Kingpin route, that will be dope, and that would reassure people that Matt Murdock is going to show up in Spider-Man, but they're keeping everything close to their chest right now. So who's to know what they're going to do? I just feel like we're going to get Ralph Boner again. That's just me.
When Far From Home comes out, when No Way Home comes out, is Hawkeye still going to be running?
Yeah, they'll have one more episode.
So maybe that's when maybe they saved the Kingpin reveal for after that multiverse reveal in the movies. Maybe.
That's what I personally think. I think what's going to happen is we're going to take that episode, go see the movie, and then the next episode is going to be like,
that'd be awesome.
Wilson Fisk, behind it all, manipulating the game, manipulating the mom to do whatever this crime boss crap she's doing right now. That's what I personally think. I think she's the main villain. I like the color coding that they're using with the clothing. Like she's wearing the same crimson red that the villain bro guys are all wearing. So it's very similar.
Oh, so you think the Kate Bishop's mother is the true villain?
Yes. Yeah, that's how it was in the comics. So. I'm not sure if they're going to do that.
I didn't read the comic. I didn't read the comic.
Comics, man. MCU does their own thing, man. MCU.
I'm just going off of the first 2 episodes right now. I'm not saying nothing from the third.
Yeah, we're just going off episodes 1 and 2.
From the color coding, she's wearing the color coding, and she's having an argument with the old rich guy, and it looks like he's the intimidator in that situation. But if you listen to what they're actually saying, he's like, "You manipulated me. Yeah, I'll have you stopped for this. You will not stop. And then he ends up getting killed. So, and there's little clues in the room.
Bitch, I'm gonna kill you.
There's little clues in the household, in that big ass mansion, but of weapons and stuff like that around. So the mom has more going on for her than it shows.
Now, in the comics, the guy that she's dating, his character is Swordsman in the comics, and he's the guy that trained Hawkeye. I think he was part of that circus Hawkeye was in. I don't think they're going that route because I don't think this Hawkeye was in the circus. They just kind of made it seem like he was just assassins killing people. So I don't know what they're gonna do. They could go. There's multiple routes they could go, but I feel like we're gonna get boned with that Ralph Boner.
These first 2 episodes felt like it was a movie I was watching. This didn't have that small feel to it. It actually felt like a full-fledged movie to me. How did it feel for you guys? Did it feel like a show, like the Loki's or anything else? Or does this feel like it's a movie?
I honestly didn't really like Loki until the last 2 episodes got me invested, but I'm just a little too late by then.
But did this feel like a movie or a show?
This last episode felt like a movie. I can't talk about it because Jordan, but the first two definitely felt like a TV show. Yeah. Especially the LARP scene, the LARPing scene that was hit and miss for some people. I liked it, but some people didn't like it.
I get what you're saying. I think a lot of it's from filming on location, so it feels bigger, feels more open because you're actually filming in the city. But something like Loki, everything's on a set, so everything feels small, more.
Yeah, you could really feel the green screen on it.
Yeah, Loki felt, definitely the most green screen of all of the MCU shows so far.
That's probably what made them made me more disattached from it was the heavy green screen usage of that. Mm-hmm. I will say with episode 3, without spoiling, there's a one shot that they did is very well. I won't say reminiscent of Daredevil, but it's shot very well. So look out for a one shot scene that they do in that episode. Nice. I love one shot scenes. I'm just like, woo!
Same.
I was like, I see y'all using your flexing that director muscle.
And they're real hard to pull off. So
it is. So yeah, look out for that scene. They did a really great job. I'm waiting for Black Widow's sister to show up with that vest, that green vest that she loves so much. I'm waiting for her to show up and how they're going to integrate that into the story because they set that up. They had it set up with her thinking that Hawkeye killed her sister. So we're going to see, which makes no sense. I'm just like, why would he wait so long? They've been friends for all these years. He's going to wait 20 years to kill her after he made her the godmother to his kids and stuff. Like, come on now.
Coming out of Black Widow, I thought she was going to be one of the main antagonists. I'm surprised she's still not anywhere to be seen in episode 3 either.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay. I'm like, when's the sister popping up? I'm waiting for her and Kingpin or see what else happens. Any theories, Casey?
Any theories? Well, what's on my mind right now is that everybody gives Hawkeye the he's just a guy, but when you see what he's doing in the Avengers movie and the first part of this, when Kate is a little girl, you see that he is he does have super abilities, even though he's human. Like he is a talented guy at what he does. And you see that in this show, which is amazing. But his main special ability is this guy's a ladies' man. Like, think back to all the characters that he talks to, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. He keeps everybody like going. Like he's got the gift of the gab, but people don't even realize that that's his real special ability. I don't think you guys are seeing that. He's like, just try and be a hero. It's a Scarlet Witch who was like mad in her head, and he got her to relax. You know what I mean?
Like calm down, baby. He's like,
yeah. He's like, you got this, girl.
Girl, no.
He's working with Kate. No. He's like bringing her up to fruition. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, that's his special ability right there. The gift of the gab.
Smooth guy.
He's on target with that. Like,
and he's got Velma from Scooby-Doo at home. So there you go.
Does. See in the comics, he's divorced and he's just out here whoring up the place.
So he's a completely different guy.
They calmed him down in the show. Thank God. He was a wild boy. I told you he was out here naked fighting people.
Yeah.
So they calmed him down.
I don't want to see Jeremy Renner butt naked running through the city. I'm good.
There's a lot of great in this storytelling though, like the aspects of the waiter saying, "No, you don't have to pay here. You eat for free for what you did for us." And then you see the weight of knowing what he did, like being Ronin and having like when Scarlet Witch died, like all that stuff. Like he was like, "Nah, man, I can't accept it." Like, because he knows what he went through, you know, but they don't know all that. They just see him as like a superhero, but he doesn't see himself like that. So I love the foreshadowing and telling of his character in this, what they're doing. It's pretty good. They're giving him a proper story.
Controversial take, man. I think Hawkeye is a bit of a piece of shit, man. Like he was trying to escape his guilt and kill himself with the Soul Stone because he's like, I ain't trying to go back to my family. I did some fucked up stuff for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and jump off this cliff.
Yeah.
Nat, go tell my wife I love her. I'm about to jump off this cliff. I ain't trying to deal with that shit. But now he has to deal with the weight of all the things he did. It's really getting to him. And he's losing his hearing too. So I'm just like, that's karma for all the stuff he did. He was trying to abandon his kids, Jordan.
Yeah.
He was trying to abandon his kid. He's like, look, I'm going to do it for the greater good. But deep down, he didn't want to deal with the repercussions of all the fucked up stuff he did.
Because he feels he's unworthy.
His friend die.
Nah, that's bullshit. He's like, nah, I got this. I got a mortgage. I got to pay. You can handle those bills. I'm about to jump off this cliff.
Oh my God.
He was gun-ho to jump off that shit too.
He feels unworthy, man.
I see you, Casey, with the puns.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, do you think this is the end of his story arc in this whole MCU? This is the send off to his character, or do you think he's gonna still be an impactful character in the Avengers?
Yes and no. I think he's gonna hand off the torch to Kate Bishop, but I could see Marvel in the future doing an old man Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner's not leaving anytime soon. I could see him. He's out here trying to do a singing career at age 50, so he's not leaving anytime.
Never too late.
It's never too late, baby. He's gonna show up with the long hair, and we might get like an old man Hawkeye. We could also get old man Peter Quill in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope they're not done with him. He does, like, in terms of like how he looks from Avengers 1 to Hawkeye the series, it does look like he's already aged into like an old man Hawkeye role. Mm-hmm. If he is just going to be the mentor figure for Kate from now on, like the show's called Hawkeye, but is it about Hawkeye Clint Barton or is Hawkeye Kate Bishop by the end of this? And if we do it that way, I mean, we've seen in all the other shows, they're kind of doing the replace game with people like Sam Wilson for Cap and stuff like that. So, or even in Armor Wars, it's supposed to be Rhodey, right? So is Rhodey going to be like Iron Man? Is our next Avengers going to be all these replacement characters and none of the originals at all? I don't know. I don't want to see Jeremy Renner go yet. I feel like he never really got that cool Jason Bourne moment he deserves in any of the movies. But I mean, he says he fought Thanos, but did he really fight Thanos? I feel like he was in the area.
He watched.
Yeah, but he never really fought Thanos one-on-one.
His arrows like, damn, looks crazy down there.
Yeah, like you guys got that right.
He ran from Thanos' soldiers. He ran with the gauntlet, right? Didn't he do that?
Yeah, he ran a little bit.
Yeah, I
think he was on the ground holding his ears because I think that was like the last blow that took him out. I think that was the last kaboom that made him go, "Oh shit!"
I mean, I like that as I like the way they Flash they did, where they showed all the different moments where explosions happened around him. But then I was like, what about everybody else? Like, just him? He's the only person that got bad ears from this. Like,
Everybody else is super. Like
Black
half
Widow was
the ears are
good.
gonna
She's not super.
She's dead. Okay, them ears are gone.
And she was doing way more like superhuman things in her movies. So.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were gonna show Black Widow having some type of like serum or something in her in the Black Widow movie, but no, she's just a white girl that works out a lot. They didn't go the comic book route. I thought they were gonna do some type of enhancement to her in the Red Room that they didn't go that route. One thing let's go a little off topic. With the future of the MCU, we're in the middle of Phase 4 right now. Who do you guys see as being the leader to the Avengers in the future? To me, I guess it's going to be Spider-Man. I can't see anybody else being the leader of the team now. Who do you guys think the leader will be?
Obviously, Cersei. Come on.
Flowers.
I think they were aiming for Captain Marvel, but since everybody on the internet revolted on that idea, yeah, I think they're still thinking of it. If I was to say, it might be I don't know, maybe the Kang, the not the evil Kang, but like one of the good Kangs, like the Kid Kang, maybe something like that. I don't know.
As the leader of the Avengers?
Of the Avengers, that's tough, man.
That's of the Avengers, the new.
Because we don't really. I don't know who could. Can't be Ant-Man.
It's got to be Spider-Man.
Like,
who else?
Nobody here is like obviously Sam Wilson, Captain America. Everybody's like, who could be the new leader?
You know what? Like, you're right.
Now, yeah. But who could be the new leader?
Not the
they
black
gotta keep
guy.
putting
Come
them
on.
through some more hell.
Yeah.
Gotta put them through a lot more.
Spider-Man, you're of age now, right? You're 18. Yeah, you're the leader.
It's got to be something interesting. I don't know.
You don't think it's gonna be Sam? You don't think?
Yeah,
Sam?
it could be Sam. It could be Sam. Could be
No.
Sam.
No.
Could be Sam.
They're never going to show that movie in China then if Sam's.
You know what it is?
Maybe Shang-Chi.
I think black people have all just seen him get his ass whooped too much. I
Yep.
think like we've all hit the limit. Like, because even at the end of his series, he was still getting his ass whooped even by the bad leader. So I think nobody sees him as a leader.
I was like, take the damn serum. No one's watching.
I know. I would have stabbed myself real quick.
I thought it was gonna be a scene where he's like, "No, don't do it to me," and they're just like, "Nah, you're getting this serum." And he's like, "No, stop."
No, no, don't do it.
This vein right here goes in quicker.
It's my good vein.
Like, I wouldn't judge you. I look the other way. Like,
yeah. No, Sam would probably be the best leader for sure. When you really think about it, that's a good point.
I can't see Captain Marvel though, because I don't know. I felt like they should have went with an older actress for Captain Marvel, like Charlize Theron. I don't feel like Brie Larson brings that grit and that badassness to the Captain Marvel character. She's just kind of
more
there.
of a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Like, she doesn't give a I care about
vanilla.
Earth. She seems like she doesn't care about Earth as much as she cares about the whole galaxy. You know what I mean? So she's not sticking around to get coffee and chill out with people.
I'd even take Angelina Jolie after seeing her as
exactly. She would have been a dope Captain Marvel, but Hollywood and their ageism, they're just like, no, let's go with boring Brie.
Yeah. Because just Angelina Jolie standing around had more presence than Captain Marvel did in all her movies. So
that's sexist, Jordan. Get off the podcast.
One woman was better than another woman. Sexism.
What are you guys' thoughts on Phase 4 as a whole? I feel like we're basically repeating Phase 1 right now. People keep saying, "Oh, Phase 4 is real mid, bro. It's real mid," and we're basically rebuilding a new Avengers team. So I'm kind of seeing it as Phase 1 all over again. How are you guys interpreting Phase 4? Jordan,
Jordan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I feel like that's a pretty apt comparison that we're kind of doing Phase 1 again, but now with characters. I know it's kind of ironic to say, but characters that I am not fully aware of, like a character like Shang-Chi even. I knew of him, but I didn't know anything about the character really. And I feel like even the movie did its own thing. So it wasn't really the Shang-Chi power set, even from the comics. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I would say it feels more aimless than Phase 1, but Phase 1 didn't really have a direction until the first Avengers when they showed Thanos. So right now I'm just kind of in I guess I'll sit back and wait kind of vibe it's not really. I don't know. I was also younger when the Phase 1 came out, so I have a different relationship with
Yeah, exactly.
movies and media than I did before. So it's hard for me to be like, does it feel the same as Phase 1? I'm a completely different person than I wasn't during Phase 1. I feel like I was more easily excited about things when we first started seeing the MCU come together than now. Now we're more jaded. We've all seen how it's done, you know?
I see this phase as an opportunity for DC to catch up right now.
Oh, for sure. This is the perfect moment for them. And they're kind of doing it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing that they can be on that level too. While Marvel and MCU create this even bigger world, they're really creating a galaxy of everything. So that to make people be able to comprehend what they're doing when they're talking about things in space and all that, they have to put more stories out there. So it is kind of like a Phase 1, but this is much bigger because there's so many Easter eggs in this one now. It's like that you have to get from the first couple of movies. It's on a whole nother plane of its own. So I like where they're going.
Now, I've said in the past, I feel like Eternals should have been a TV series, 5 episodes, 6 episodes tops.
Yeah.
That way we could spend more time with the characters.
With the same high budget.
Yeah, with same high budget. Like, spoiler alert, Icarus dies. I felt nothing. If I spent 5 hours with this character and fully understood his motives and understood why Kango decided to just dip out on the third act, it would have made sense. But this is a 2-hour movie and all this stuff happens. I don't have no relationship with them. I don't care to see them again. Like, if I'm getting mugged and Cersei shows up, I might just get stabbed that day. What's she gonna do? Make flowers for me? Like, what? I don't feel safe with the Eternals trying to save me. Like, I don't.
You can make you a tree, bro.
I don't see how they fit in the Marvel universe right now.
Well, yeah, I think Eternals in concept would have been really a lot cooler than it actually was in execution. And like you said, a lot of that goes back to the storytelling and the amount of time they had to flesh out 10 characters in a 2-hour movie, while also balancing the greater cosmos building of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me personally, I always like more mystery in my things. I don't like when everything's spelled out. That's why I don't really like cosmic Marvel at all. I don't read Silver Surfer stuff for that very reason.
You should. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been told, but I don't like knowing that deep into the lore, because I think the bigger you go, the smaller everything, more insignificant everything else feels in like the street level stuff. That being said, if Galactus is the next big bad in the MCU, that'd be dope. I don't know how they'll pull it off, but that'd be amazing to see on a cinematic level, to see something like Galactus, like cosmic level beings fight in the MCU.
Yeah. Cool thing with Silver Surfer is he was like Stan Lee's soapbox to the injustices that was happening in the real world. So Silver Surfer came to Earth to like not to tell them of Galactus, but he stayed there in the early comics and he told them, like, he was looking at things like, why are they racist? They're all humans. What the heck is going on? You know, like that's where Stan Lee really wrote his real think pieces in. And like I hope they pull off the Silver Surfer story in a proper way.
If they do it like that, that'd be poignant. But I don't like all the stuff where it's like, and now I'm on planet XYZ, and like I'm just like, I don't care.
I think they're doing that with the Eternals, and they're doing that with Guardians of the Galaxy by showing you different parts of the universe, so that when Silver Surfer comes, you'll be like, oh, I seen that in Guardians. He went back there, you know. So it'll be cooler like that, rather than them fit it all in that movie and it'd be like, the hell, where's he now? I don't know where this is. I don't have any relationship with this area, with the skull that he's flying into. You know what I'm saying? For safe haven. Yeah. So
because I don't even understand the whole celestial things, because Peter Quill's dad was celestial, but he wasn't. But I don't think they understood.
I don't like retroactive storytelling. That's kind of what the MCU is doing now. Like, because they did establish that Ego was a Celestial at one point, but now it's like, that's not how Celestials work. Even Thanos, if he's an Eternal, if Eros is his brother, that raises further questions. Like, what was Thanos? And he came from a planet, right?
But what if Ego was like a virus? What if Ego is like a virus for Galactus? Like he eats Ego, or he eats a planet that Ego like reproduced on, and it makes Galactus die.
Gives him indigestion, gives him heartburn.
You know what I mean? Like, what if he's like that? What if he's an evolution of the Celestials in a sense of that form? because he's a one of one. He's like the first of that kind of celestial. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking out the box right now. But
what if like eating ego is like
they're not the planet?
yeah.
I was gonna say like what if eating ego is like eating a bunch of ribs and you get the itis and it's a way to put Galactus to sleep temporarily. Yeah. There you go.
I'm getting tired.
So the countermeasure. Ego was looking out for us the whole time. He's going down. Oh,
because Galactus is basically eating their babies. He's flying around like, oh yeah, this one looks delicious, eating their babies. So maybe they're trying to stop him with ego. But I don't know. That's far fetched.
We out here reaching for the stars with dinosaur arms right now.
That's what these star stories do.
Let's wrap this up. I feel like we took up enough of Jordan's time. Jordan, let the folks know where they can reach you.
And how they can support your show that you're doing.
Yes, that too.
Oh, thank you. So you can find me on the Blurred Vision on Instagram. It's also a podcast called the Blurred Vision. Or you can check out Unworthy Productions on YouTube or Instagram. And we also have a Patreon and a merch store up where we have t-shirts, posters and stuff like that. Anything that is purchased in the merch store or any contribution to Patreon obviously goes back to producing Unworthy, and it's expensive. Costumes, locations, especially locations. Like I spent almost 10 grand just in the location for episode 4. So it's a pretty penny. We're not in LA, so it's not like a bunch of free, beautiful locations, or not even free, even just affordable locations. Mm-hmm. New Jersey, they gotta charge you. But yeah, if people head over there, that's where I do a lot of posting nowadays. I'm trying to be more active in Blurred Vision, but Unworthy Productions is my passion. So head over there, follow us, watch the show on YouTube, and buy the merch, join the Patreon, help us out.
I'm gonna donate when I get my tax return. That's what Black people always say. I get that tax return, baby.
Even not buying a shirt, rep it.
When the tax return hit, man, $5 coming your way. Again, we are the Bacchanal Podcast. If you don't know where to reach us, we are the Bacchanal, BACCHANAL. You can email us at the bacchanalsquad@gmail.com. Jordan, are you still checking your emails?
The blurvision@gmail.
I emailed them a couple times back in the day, and they never read my email. Ever.
Yeah, I'm not too good at a lot of spam at the Gmails.
What else, Casey? Where they can reach us? _Bacchanal. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We got Facebook
podcast fan page. Yeah.
That indeed. We're in there talking shit, having a good old time.
Yeah,
I'm on the ticking and the talking.
Yes.
You can check me out on _Bacchanal on TikTok. When they're not shadow banning me, I'm making good content.
Struggle.
It is a struggle, man. It's all right, folks. I think that's it for us. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff for Al Gore's rhythm, or whatever the kids say.
Thanks for having me, guys.